Why should we pay athletes in college? All right, well, here's why. You pay the guy that sets the court up. You pay the coaches. You pay every administrator. You pay the person that does the financial stuff, setting up the person for debt that comes to the university. So when the student comes and is signing on to $20,000 in debt, if they screw up their scholarship and all this, everybody associated makes money. The person that gives a tour, like I said, the referees make money. Why is it that the ref deserves money and the players don't? Well, because being a basketball player is a sought-after job. So because everybody wants to do that job in the US, employers are able to take advantage of the employees looking for it. So we offer 4-year unpaid internships with no insurance. Lose an eye, have your back be permanently injured, you weren't an employee. But guess what? If you were a referee, and of course the referee deserves more respect than the players because it required so much difficulty to get there. No. So why is it that the referee gets a lifetime disability if hurt on the job, but a player doing something for a multi-million-dollar university, nah, we shouldn't have considered that that human was doing something positive, whether it be for himself or for the community. It should still be a job for your university. We like to pay the administrators and the coaches massive amounts while we pay nothing to the players. I'm not talking about a big salary. I'm saying even if you paid players $50 per week, this would allow them to get some food. Couldn't we allow people that are actively engaged in college athletics, if they're helping to build a college, keep a college earning money, couldn't you give them legitimate food stamps then? You're helping a university, not Walmart. Walmart can pay for its own food for employees. And if not, then should a business model exist where people can't pay its employees? That's where I get lost on the joy of capitalism. Should I be able to start a company with 10 employees that are working for free, all on internships, and continue to use the internship programs to get people with degrees to come out and work for free, and consider myself that I'm doing something good for my community? They're putting something on their CV. What does that matter if the CV is, what's that called? I can't even remember. I've lived in Europe too long now. The thing you bring for a job to show them that you worked places before. I can't remember what it's called. That's awesome. Stuck here. So, universities, even like the small one I went to, got paid $7,000 for each game that we played against a Division I team. And these teams would pay this money to the university. And they have loopholes. They'll pay players, but they don't pay everybody. And why not some of the guys? And why do we have to use loopholes? So obviously, paying the players is something that is going on. But we snap down on them. If they sign one autograph and they made money off that autograph, they can lose their scholarship. Isn't that a bit ridiculous? You're not even allowed to own your own name. So the university gets your name, can put you in video games, can put you on jerseys, can have you selling the highest amount of jerseys in the nation, and you can't earn a penny. And the sad thing is, it's not a guarantee that you get to go to the pros and have a good career. You might just get in there and get right out and have not much to show for it. You already had debt before you went in, get paid the 400 league minimum. I don't know, what's the league minimum for a rookie? Is it the same? Is it 400 grand? I'm not sure. But I doubt they can live their whole life on 1 year in the NBA. And you're gonna have to do a lot of steroids to stay in the NBA. Chris Paul, the head of the President's Association in the NBA, has admitted that he'll never test for growth hormone as long as he's in charge. So we want these kids to realize that if they want to become successful, you must cheat. Second, the universities are going to cheat on you. They want you to bleed their colors, their name, but they literally won't sign a check for you if you're hurt past when the season ends. I'm not saying they won't take care of an injury for let's imagine the surgery. If it requires a surgery, they might have insurance to take care of the surgery, but I doubt they pay for your rehab. Most insurances won't pay for the rehab. So now you've got to pay for the rehab yourself or go without it. Now you have a severely handicapped leg because you didn't take care of this injury. Not to mention, there's a lot of the, we play in terrible conditions. Like the athlete, we play if we have bones exposed. I've seen players with bones exposed on their fingers, like the bone was sticking out of the hand. Guy resets the bone a little bit and just continues to play because it's his senior season. Every time he catches the ball, excruciating pain. He's yelling in practice. But guess what? He never even avoids using that hand the whole season. I had plantar fasciitis that caused me to, the tendon on the back of the heel starts to re-tear every night. And when I sleep, it would regrow. Some of the cords that detached would regrow. Now, in the morning, this becomes very painful because this is a fresh injury. And as soon as you start to move, those same parts rip off again. So like if I have to run in practice during the warm-up, I would never warm up slow because the warm-up slow would just, I would have to go through pain constantly as this is feeling like it's starting to tear off. So I would try to just sprint to tear it, go through the pain of what that felt like. Normally it felt like spraining my ankle badly or tearing a muscle, really nasty. So extreme pain for a short time. And then after maybe 5 minutes or less, actually, I would run normal again because it's not attached. So there we go. But as soon as I went to sleep again, reattached, and now the next day, I got to rip it again. And I think for 2 months had to go through this type of pain, which I really thought I was going to quit. But then I thought, nope, I'm an older man. I'm a failure of a man if I don't complete this, regardless of what damage this does to me permanently, because, oh yeah, well, when you have it detached, the bone starts to regrow to the tendon. So who knows how much damage I was doing by re-tearing it every night and just for practices. So, you know your peers are being paid. You know everybody at the university is being paid. You know the refs are being paid. Why is it that we cannot earn a small amount of money? And if a coach even buys you a meal, you can lose your scholarship. That's ridiculous. Most of these jobs are in the middle of the Bible Belt anyway. Not most, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of places where it's really religious. And why don't these religious communities stand up for the working class there? I guess they just consider going to college and playing basketball just fun. But you know, you take a regular school load and then you also do athletics, right? So the athletes normally have to take 15 units because they're going to want one class to drop. So you're going to end up with 12 units minimum. And from there, it's very competitive on the court because the coach has 30 people who will do anything he says without questioning. And so if you're the guy coming late, that's it, you're cut. They'll send you back straight to your state. They have no concern for how hard it was to get there. So you must be mentally a complete coward. You have to be a complete bitch when you're in school, like just like with any employment. You know, you cannot stand up for what you think is right because the answer is going to be clear. Is your coach right or are you right? And do you really want to be right over your coach? Because I think it's only a matter, you better be the leading scorer in the state and in the nation to be able to come late to some practices. Trust me, you'll have to deal with that too. And that unfairness, the mental unfairness you will struggle through as an athlete will be interesting. Me, I came as an athlete very late to the game. So for me, it wasn't so hard for me to transition because I was already used to being bad at things or being treated not special. So I knew what the game was going to be. But man, how many days of even practice or games where guys did everything they were meant to do in the gym. They were the best player on the team. They just, hands down, we want them to come back every game. And yet that person hated their performance, disliked their coach, really disgusted with the coach. You didn't play me and we lost by 2 points. And if I was in the game more, we would have won. Oh, that must have killed those men. And constantly, it's just, you're going to have to deal with that type of disappointment on a regular basis as an athlete. It's going to be really disappointing when you think that I'm finally here. Now everything's going to be good. No. And if you're the only paid athlete and the other guys are unpaid, man, you probably want to tell them you're getting paid. And then you really, really, really don't. It makes not much sense to tell them, besides to put them in their place. Because, geez, man, I've had people, even when I'm being the only one being paid, them coming straight to you and telling you, hey, you suck. All right. Coach doesn't see it that way. The paycheck doesn't see it that way. But still, I'm meant to deal with that mentally in some other way and just be upset that I suck. What can I do more? Get back in the gym, focus harder when you're in there. Even when you're doing those things, or even when you're doing it to the highest level, when I'm watching what my teammates were doing, to catch up to them, I always had to go do more. And I don't think I could do more physically necessarily. Of course, I would try to build my body up more than them. But it wasn't about just doing more repetitions. It was about thinking outside the box. How can I, instead of doing 10,000 shots from three-point line, how can I fix the rhythm and the mechanics of my bone structure and where I'm generating forces from, what generate my center of gravity, focus on doing movements off the center of gravity, being off balance and then on balance, learning to shoot with both hands. These types of things help me to get faster, to get better much faster than maybe the average person who just did the shots with a coach who just kept giving them the ball over and over again. This is just a theory. Who knows? But there's no reason that athletes should not be paid something. They should be able to pay their own bills. You should give them something for the debt that they're going to occur after. You're going to just be ruining lives in college and only passing forward less than 1% of the athletes that come. Seems really a broken system to forget about these people. That I understand it's just because it's a highly sought after gig. Everybody wants to be a basketball player. So that means they don't deserve any respect. Just kind of like celebrities, huh? Once they get it, nobody's going to feel sorry for the athletes. Because I think in society we see them as being too privileged. But I'll tell you, it's a poor athlete who, I pulled 2 of my own teeth in college because I had cavities, because I was in the season. It was causing me pain daily. I didn't know if I could continue. One of them started to get swollen and abscessed. So I didn't have the money or the support networks to go ahead and get a tooth extracted. But I never thought of this as a grown man. I was being paid by the university, but I had to wait 3 months to get any money. So when I got there, I was completely in just up to their mercy. And it's really intense how little charity athletes get in that situation. You leave your state, you leave your support network, so your friends can't even feed you if you needed something like that. And it doesn't even make sense, because any organization that is making money in Europe will pay a junior player, will pay a veteran player, if you're helping them out, if you're helping them to keep value, either to stay in the league they want to stay in, to move up a level. It's not great money, but they're giving you money. It's way better than working for free. I don't get this idea of working for free as being good for anybody. Internships, man, well, we know who that's good for, the companies. But why do we allow huge corporations to take interns? Why do we allow huge universities? Why should the University of Arkansas be allowed to not pay even the worst guy on their team? He's there for some reason, right? in case of injury. They know, and there's all kinds of stuff. It's devastating to their bottom line if they don't finish out the season. They didn't have enough players. So they'll recruit 30, knowing 10 will drop out of school, messing up on their own, which is also kind of a messed up system too, because it's like probation. It's kind of built for you to fail. So how many men get there at 18 and then you're faced with ultimate control over your life and you don't know how to spend money. You know how to go buy the nicest pair of shoes that just came out. And if you got any money from your school, you're probably going to spend every penny of it. But yeah, it seems like a trap for a lot. Let's pay them. Pay them something. It doesn't have to be big. But this idea that they're criminals if they get paid $1 or if they get a meal, while they're clearly doing more than the person that sets up the gym for them. I'm not discounting their job. I think that job is a really tough job and underappreciated. But you didn't require taking full-time classes and also being in elite shape, which requires a ridiculous amount of work. Not to mention weight restriction and other things that we all face when we're in university. So sorry, I got to give it to the athlete. They are the harder worker. They have to do homework after they're done and coursework. We should pay the college athlete. Colleges make money.